Good morning, and welcome to day 4 of our Boho Babydoll SAL. Today we're going to be finishing up the bodice of the dress or the top, depending on what options you're choosing. So we're going to be sewing the side seams, adding the neckband, and if you're doing the tank, adding the armbands. I went ahead before I started recording and did a memory hem on my sleeves. So I basically folded 1/2 inch and pressed. This is what a memory hem is. This way on day 6, when we'll be hemming the skirt and the sleeves, I'll have this to help me when I do my cover stitching. So go ahead and do a memory hem if you're doing the sleeve option. And I also went ahead and pressed my neckband in half, wrong sides together, lengthwise, and gave it a good press. Do the same thing if you're doing the arm bands. So if you're doing a tank option, do the same thing for those 2 bands. I'm only doing it for the neckband. So now I'm going to be placing my top right sides together, matching on each side my shoulder seam, my arm size seam, and then I'm gonna be matching my bodice. And again, we're gonna be closing the side seams with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then my sleeves. So this is my side seam, sleeve, and bodice. In your case, if you're doing tank, it should be just the bodice. 1/2 inch seam allowance. So now you should have, with your memory hem, you can just press this so it stays pressed for when you're hemming. I usually like to add a clip at the stitching. We're not hemming it today, but it's all ready for when we are. Okay, and repeat the same thing for the other side. Again, matching the arm size, arm side, however you pronounce that, and then the bottom. The Boho Babydoll has like an empire at the front, and it curves down on the back. It's super cute. So I wouldn't call it an empire waist because it's not really empire on the back, but it is kind of in the front with the curve. And again, something that I wanted to mention, that sometimes when I know that I'm going to put a lot of stress on my seams, especially here, I go and reinforce this with my sewing machine, like right here, maybe 3/4 inch stretch stitch with my sewing machine. You don't have to, but I find that sometimes my shirts come undone exactly at this side, even though if you look at the seams are perfect, you don't see them on the outside, so my tension is good on my serger. Sometimes because of the stress of wearing it, it comes undone right here where the sleeve matches the body. So I sometimes go ahead and do like a stretch stitch right on top of it. Obviously you don't have to, but I'm giving you like one of my tips for longer lasting seams, because I've noticed some of them tend over time with a lot of wear to come undone right at that point, and that will prevent it. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm folding the memory hem that I did for the sleeves. Alright, so now I have my bodice. I'm going to turn it outside, the right side out. So I have my bodice ready. I just need to add my neckband, just like you would a normal shirt. So I'm going to start by folding it like so, matching the shoulder seams, because this will give me the half the center back and the center front. So I'll take a pin and put it right here, and that's my center back. Then I'm gonna take another pin and mark my center front, like so. So now I need to find the quarter point, so I'm just opening it the other way, matching the front and the back, and finding the quarter points. Mark them with a pin too. There you go. So now I have the arm opening with all the quarter points marked. Okay. Take your neckband, place it right sides together and sew it in a loop with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm opening it up, right sides together, and I'm sewing it right here. Alright, so that's my back. Now I'm gonna mark the quarter points on the neckband as well. And everything that I'm showing you here right now for the neckband and neck opening, you will be applying to the armband and arm opening as well. I'm finding the front center and mark it, and then I'm opening it up, marking the back and the front, and this will give me the quarter points. All I have to do now is to match the quarter points from the neckband and the neck opening, making sure that the seam that you just made is on the back of the bodies. And pin them together. I'm matching my clips and clipping them together. Make sure that the armband, before you start twisting, before you start sewing, make sure that the neckband and armband are not twisted, because you don't want to seam rip the serger's thread. Now you can, if you want, add a couple of additional clips. Make sure that you stretch the neckband to match the opening, and add one extra maybe around the middle of those, in between those two. If you want. If you're comfortable not adding them, go ahead and do that. Most of the time I don't, but I figured since I'm doing it on camera for the tutorial, I'll add extra ones. Alright, so this is the neckband pin. And I'm gonna go ahead and sew with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Don't rush, because, and I'm telling you from experience, you can tell if you have not had a constant seam allowance when you wear the shirt. Of course, repeat the same steps for the armbands too. Again, you don't have to have a serger. If you're doing this step on a sewing machine, make sure you sew with a zigzag, with a triple stretch stitch or one of those lightning bolt stitches. Look, the neckband is so beautiful. We're gonna give it a good press and we're gonna top stitch it I will be using my cover stitch machine for this step. If you don't have a cover stitch machine to top stitch it, you can definitely use a twin needle, and we have a twin needle blog post that you can go over. A few tips from Elizabeth, I think, for the twin needle, or maybe not Elizabeth, maybe Erin, I'm not sure, but I will link the post. Or you can do a zigzag stitch on the top stitching. I'm gonna go ahead and use my cover stitch and do it with my cover stitch once I change the threads in it, and then I'm gonna give it a good press, a good steam press, to make sure everything lays nice and flat, and I'll take a picture of my day 4 progress. I do encourage you to do the same. Post it in the comments of the day 4 photo of the Sew Along album in the Sew Along group. And I will see you back here tomorrow when we will start working on the skirt. We're gonna be putting the skirt together, gathering it and attaching it to the bodice. And we are almost done. So, but at least by the end of today, your bodice is done. So, woohoo! Great job, everyone. I'll see you back here tomorrow.